Welcome back to LJ's Comic Bro. My name is Jay. I'm the host for the show, and happy new comic book day to everybody. Hopefully by the time you guys were able to watch this video, you were able to at least pick up your books, be able to thumb through them. Hopefully the stories are going as good as the ones that I just got done reading. A little update on about what's going on at the Burrow with us. Unfortunately, our little girl, Wasp, she ended up having to go in for emergency surgery yesterday. She's actually been at the vet's the last 2 days. She had a large spleen that needed to be removed right away. And when they went inside, they also found that she had lymphoma. So she does have a long road of recovery ahead of her. When we will be treating her like the queen that she really is. So hopefully things do start going a little well for her, that she's at least able to enjoy the rest of her whatever life that she does have ahead of her. Another little update, we also have Groot. I know the last time I talked to you guys, he had his liver enzymes were really elevated. We do have an update for that. We were able to bring it down to from 1,000, a little over 1,000 actually, to about a high 200. So by the time my next video comes out, which will be next week, hopefully we have a little even better update. At this point in time, we're still kind of helping him eat. He does eat a little bit on his own. It's just, unfortunately, we have to end up helping him eat a little bit more to keep his nutrition going and hopefully bring his blood sugars down to where it needs to be. That being said, let's show off some comic books here. First book here I'm going to show you is the Immortal Thor issue 12. This cover is as beautiful it is on the outside as the stuff that's going on the inside. It's a great work here by Mr. Al Ewing. This is personally an individual story, which is kind of nice to have in between huge story arcs, which is about to happen here with Immortal Thor and bringing Hercules to the storyline. So if you haven't picked it up, hopefully you're able to at least pick up this issue and start with the run. It's definitely one of those stories that you really do need to start from the very beginning, because it did have some great writing at the very beginning there, especially with Thor reliving some of his life and actually finding out he is a comic book. He is a comic book character, and it's kind of like a more of a fourth wall Deadpool kind of thing. So let's just say, start at the very beginning and you'll absolutely enjoy it. Another book here I've been trying to tell you guys to pick up on, and this is issue number 13. This is the Incredible Hulk, Mr. Philip Kennedy Johnson. Nick Klein's doing the cover art, I think, for most of those issues. If you love the 70s, say, and early 80s Hulk, you be a fan of this story. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a great book, great writing, great artwork. I think I've only been let down, I think, for a couple of the issues when he was in New Orleans, but so far the story itself has not been a letdown. Mr. Brother Voodoo makes another little appearance in this issue, so please pick this book up. You'll absolutely love it, I'm telling you. All right, I'm going from one amazing writer to another amazing writer. This is issue 149, Batman. Mr. Chip Zdarsky. I absolutely love his work. I loved pretty much everything he usually writes. I pretty much enjoy. He's definitely another one of those newer age writers that I absolutely enjoy. And personally, this does tie everything up, put a little bow on it, and delivers it to you. Kind of gives Batman everything he's lost, and so he's able to move on to the next huge story arc, which DC is about to do. Personally, this is going to probably be my last issue for quite some time. I'm not going to end up reading the huge storyline that they got going on. I'm just going to take a little break, and let's see where that goes and progresses. But issue number 149, Chip Zdarsky's Batman. this has not been a letdown either. This is issue number 8, Spider-Boy, Mr. Dan Slott. I do love this new character here. So if you pick this up, you are getting a minor key issue. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. This is pretty much finishes up what ended up happening in the last issue. They're transforming all the creatures back to humans, and that's where you run across this guy. I do love, here, you know something, I need to show you this stuff. I do have a lot of books here to show you, but this is definitely one of those cool things. This is some of the things that you do get to read across when it comes to this villain. Definitely has a lot of cool puzzles that he makes you want to figure out. Hopefully you do not hand this to the kids and go, "Oh, a maze." Because, I mean, they got drawn by numbers. I mean, the villain really does put you through some cool stuff. It's definitely an out-of-the-box villain. And like I said, a maze. Don't hand the kids this and a pen, all right? They will figure this stuff out. So, but like I said, look, word search. Yeah, word search. So, like, this is definitely one of those cool villains that I really did enjoy, and it really, like I said, since the very beginning, it's not a character that you are going to be taking too serious. It is a fun character and fun to enjoy, and Dan Slott has done an amazing job, and I am one of those people that have never really cared for Dan Slott's writing, but bam, Spider-Boy is #1 for me. All right, this one is actually my wife's, so I did not read this one. This is Deadpool, Wolverine, World War III. Yeah, I mean, the cover really does speak for itself. So that's all I got to say about that. This is a pretty cool cover, so hopefully she gets to enjoy that pretty soon. I actually got this just because it's the first Marvel Disney crossover, actual Marvel Disney crossover. My wife got one cover, I got the other. This is Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime. She got the original, which is really, really cool cover. Personally, I got the Gabriel Delgado because I'm a huge Delgado fan. And I want to show you how an amazing artist does Uncle Scrooge. They had so many different covers for this book, including a Frank Miller, which actually almost looked like, you know, a good Frank Miller, but I just didn't want it. Didn't care to have it, but I mean, just that artwork alone. I know it's with the bag on it. It's kind of hard to see at times, but yeah. That is a pretty cool book. Next issue I do want to show to you is another book from my wife. It is Feral, issue number 4. So far, she has told me this book is fan-frickin-tastic. She is enjoying this as much as she has enjoyed Stray Dogs. So if you absolutely love the story of Stray Dogs, this is definitely one of those series that's just for you. All right, now I did pick this up for the cover, and that's the cover alone, because I'm an Amazing Spider-Man 300 fan. I'm a Todd McFarlane fan, and this does have a little bit of homage to that cover with, I guess, the Spider Goblin. Peter Parker as the Spider Goblin. So, and it does have that, if you really look at it, it does have that Joker vibe with the ha 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 kind of thing going on. So that to me is pretty much like the cover of the week for this. I do love this cover, and like I said, it's a lot of it actually has to do with this homage to Amazing Spider-Man 300, but it takes the cake with that Joker image there. All right, this is the next book here I have to show to you. I've read so far the first 4 issues, And this is definitely everything I would want in a What If series. This is What If Aliens. All right. And what if Mr. Burke actually lived instead of gotten killed right there in the right in the building, as they were trying to escape from the aliens from the second Aliens movie. So I have not been let down. I've absolutely enjoyed this story. I love how, I guess, I know Paul Reisner hasn't written the whole thing himself. I know, but I will say this story is absolutely beautiful and it's amazing. If I'm going to say a story is beautiful, this is definitely it. Please, if you don't pick up the individual stories, it is definitely worth picking up the collected once it does come out. This is issue number 4. All right. Woo! I just got a couple more books here to show you. I might as well get into this. This is from Distillery. Yeah, I guess it would be, that's how you pronounce it, Distillery. James Tynion IV has proven again and again and again he writes like no other when it comes to horror stories. This is Spectrograph, issue number 2. Yeah, this is the real thing. I mean, if you love a great horror story, I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, this is definitely one of those books for you. And talking about great horror, EC Comics is going to be releasing some new stuff here pretty soon. So I am pretty excited to be able to at least pick up the first issue of one of many, just to see what it's like, just to see how good they can bring it back. The pre-horror code stuff is definitely really hard to get a hold of because it is so expensive. I've got a few issues over at the Comics Connection where I do my local comic book shopping at. I do not have the money for those because they are going for ridiculous prices because so many people want those books. But I mean, it would be nice to be able to have some new stuff and new memories. They did do another update, or I should say another edition there, I think back in the 80s, possibly early 90s. So they tried bringing it back. Unfortunately, I don't think it went as well as the pre-code stuff. So it'll be nice to see them bring some new stuff back. It'd be nice to see if James Tynion IV will actually do some writing for this. And personally, I took it out of the bag. I wanted you guys to see some of the horror that actually is in these books. I mean, if you woke up and saw that coming at you, what would you do? Yeah, not a whole hell of a lot. You'd be praying a lot because even those that probably don't even believe in God would be sitting there going, holy crap, please help. So, I mean, yeah. See that coming at you in the hallway. Some red character just pulling off a face. Yeah. You'll be believing it's something by the end of the day. So, like I said, this is a great book for issue number 2. I love to be able to see where they go from here. I would like to see if the lady actually ever gets home to her son, who he left in a chair, and that poor kid is still supposedly sitting there crying his eyes out because nobody was able to go over and check him out. So I'm thinking that she's been in that house for at least 2 days by now. So I just kind of just want to know, what's going on with the kid. That's between that and a few other things going on in that book. It definitely keeps me going. All right, now I got a couple little other books here I want to show to you. You got a little shiny book. This is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars issue number 6. Yeah, I own everything but number 8, so it's just nice to have the shiny book. Yeah, I like a little shiny. I love the covers. I love being able to sit here and be able to look at the shiny covers. Um, yeah, it's just pretty cool. And the story, it was definitely one that was groundbreaking at the time. Uh, Funny little thing, again at Comics Connection, they do have issue number 8. It is um, not a newsstand. They're selling for $200. I looked at it and I had to turn it down. Money wise, one, two, it wasn't the newsstand that I really want. If it was, I'd be trying to work out a deal to be able to get that book. But yeah, it just eventually, one day, someday, I'll get it back again. All right. So for those that sit around and have a bunch of older Amazing Spider-Man books but don't like going through them and possibly damaging them or not. And I know there's those people that love to pick up those books and love to read them. And kudos to you. I just don't want to damage them. I've been trying to protect those books all I possibly can, and that's why I end up picking up stuff like this. All right, and this is actually the trade paperback number 10. So this does cover a wide a range of books here and stories. And this is pretty much how I do read the volume 1 of my Amazing Spider-Man. I have every one of the volumes that are actually already been released, including volume 1 and volume 2, which is actually at this point in time pretty expensive if you have first prints of those. So yep, that is one of the other books I ended up picking up. All right, so let's go back a little bit in time. These are a couple last 3 books here that I have to show to you. This is Ultimate Fantastic Four, issue number 30. First cover appearance of the Marvel Zombies, which pretty much now finishes my collection for the Marvel Zombies when it comes to the Ultimate Fantastic Four. The crazy thing is, I actually picked up the first appearance of the Marvel Zombies for like $2, and I was like, wow. Never could find this. Paid more for this minor key than I did for the major key for the actual thing. So, and the major key actually was in beautiful shape. So, whatever. When sometimes you really get really good deals, and sometimes you're sitting there going, I just paid $15 for a book that was probably worth $8. So, all right. The next issue I do have to show to you, these are actually for my wife. This is the Mighty Thor, issue 365. Very first Throg. All right. All right, one last issue here to show you. And this is also my wife. This is 366. The Mighty Thor, first cover appearance of Throg. As you can tell, the little theme, she actually loves Throg. So I loved Beta Ray. She liked Throg. Walt Simonson, definitely. There's certain people that you'll always remember that drew Thor. Walt Simonson's definitely in that list of people that when you sit around, you think about some of the amazing characters that were drawn for a comic book. There's Jack Kirby, and there's definitely Walt Simonson when it comes to Thor. So, all right, and I didn't even handle any of my business. So let's go over that real quick. If you end up liking what you're watching, and dear God, if you end up liking what you're seeing, if you like the words that ended up coming out of my mouth by the end of this episode, please please subscribe, please share, and most importantly, please leave a message. I'd love to be able to hear from you. I do respond to everybody that does say, that does write to me. I'd love to be able to talk to you about whatever comic books and stuff that you are reading. I know, at least where I come from and where I'm at, there is no other place to be able to sit around and talk about comic book stories or any of that kind of nerdy stuff. There, it's just not around, and actually in this area that I just don't have those people unless I actually go to the local comic book store and have those kind of conversations. So it'd be nice to be able to, be able to talk to people that are, have the same likes and interests or whatever that you guys have. So I'd love to be able to hear what you guys are reading at this point in time. So from my family, your family, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the show. And dear God, stay safe and keep reading.